Hey everyone, welcome to All About the Joy. I'm Carmen Lezeth, and today we're going to do things just a little bit different. I'm going to explain to you what all 4 shows are that fall under the umbrella of All About the Joy. I'm going to give you a little bit of a tour, basically. But here's the thing. I thought I would start first with telling you why I named it All About the Joy to begin with. For those of you who've been with us for a long time, you've already heard this story. And for those of you who are stopping by for the first time, here's a little summary of it all. I've had a very interesting childhood like so many other people. Let's just leave it at that for now. But here's the thing. While I was growing up, no matter what the circumstance was, no matter how hard things got, I was always able to find a little bit of joy, no matter how hard things were. I understood early on that when you're in a hole, you need to stop digging. And the way to do that sometimes is just to look up and try to find the light, try to find the silver lining, trying to find the hope, the joy in all of it. And that's how I got through most of my childhood. And that is where All About the Joy was born. So first up is our signature show called All About the Joy Friday Night Lives. So our Friday Night Lives really are the hanging out on the porch kind of thing. Depending on where you grew up, you probably hung out at the corner store or maybe at the local general store, or where I grew up in the city, we would hang out on the street, on the stoop, right? We would come home from school, from work, from rehearsals, whatever it was you were doing. And at the end of the day, you would hang out and say hi to your neighbors. There'd be gossip going on. That's what Friday Night Live is all about.
We work at our relationship and it's not perfect. There is no relationship that is perfect.
Correct.
And, and if down the line we decide we want to get a divorce, then so be it. Then we're happy for each other to be happy with someone else.
I got to text Juan what you saying right now.
Hey, well, Rick.
That's the key is you love each other. You will love each other through whatever iteration your relationship is, even if that's separate. You don't have, like, what I'm for is people being content and fulfilled. And that can happen in a marriage. It can happen outside of marriage. It can happen for a period of time in a marriage. And then you grow in a different direction, and that's okay. But I just don't, to me, it's just a archaic kind of instant. And I'm married, my anniversary is tomorrow. So, I mean, it's it's a archaic institution that people don't really need.
Growing in different directions, I'm seeing a lot more of. That's what's concerning me with today's society. There's a lot of people growing in different directions.
A lot of people choose not to grow. That's the issue. People make a decision not to grow.
Right.
And if one person is making the decision not to grow and the other person is making the decision to grow, what are you going to do?
That is
So, see, you can come for the laughter, come for the fun, stay for the friends, and maybe get a little bit of wisdom along the way. I'm not sure, but that's Friday Night Live. The private lounge. This is the VIP velvet room lounge at the club kind of place. Not everybody's invited, but but once you're in, you get to experience the private conversations. This is where we do most of our interviews. This is where we do our one-on-one conversations with guests that we are so lucky to have on the show. This is where we have full-on deep conversations about those subjects that maybe you want to know more about, but we just didn't have the quiet, private time to do. Time is not as much of a big factor when it's a honest friendship. Does that make any sense?
It made perfect sense. As long as something is sincere, and you're coming from a sincere place, no time, it doesn't matter how much time has passed, because there are people in my life, even relatives who I see like as friends, who come back into my life and it's like no time is left. But you just pick right back up. The laughter continues. The laughter it's like we just rib each other. It's just, it's family, it's fun, it's love. And when love knows no time. Love knows Love knows no boundaries. Love knows it is.
Okay,
Love
but
it
let's talk
is.
about when friendships
So
bother you because
from-
because one of the things I've said
I
this
will
to you
read for
before.
people. I will read you down without even talking out your name.
Let me tell people who are listening, like, the thing that I find, I guess it's not shocking, but I always like have to mind my P's and Q's because I'm like, was it me? Was it me? Because when you're upset with a friend or you're not happy, you
Mhm.
will lay that shit out on social media, but you won't name them.
I will never name names. And so, because the thing is, I have to find an outlet because my wife, bless her heart, she gets sick of me talking.
So that's the vibe that lives here. It's a lot more truth, a lot more honesty, and really just giving us the time to breathe and have those deeper conversations. Then there's Carmen Talks. This is kind of me at the front stairs, just kind of riffing, talking, saying what I want to say. I really took this from the whole TED Talk thing. So it's always going to be under 20 minutes. It's always just going to be me. And it's always going to be about something that's important to me that I feel the need to share. And yeah, it's not always going to be polished, but it's always going to be from the heart. And it's always going to be something that I feel it necessary to share. Let's start with what AI stands for. It stands for artificial intelligence. But here's the thing that's kind of interesting. Because we've all seen all of these films like 2001: A Space Odyssey, right, where the villain is Hal, or we've seen movies like War Games, where Joshua, the big, huge, clunky computer, almost starts a war on our behalf because it thinks it's playing a game. We've seen all of these types of movies that make AI out to be the bad guy. Right? So I get it. I get why there's so much fear. It also feels really big. But I want you to think about AI the way that I do. And look, this is going to be super simplistic, but I think I'm just going to own up to it. The way in which I learn things is like if I'm still a kid. And so I want to invite you to be a little bit open-minded about it as I explain it the way that I know it. And hopefully that will get you involved in starting to use it on a regular basis. So those are Carmen Talks. Those are kind of fun to do too. And finally, culture and consequence. So this is kind of the chess table at the park under the shaded tree, where you have the big time conversations, right? And this is the show where we're going to talk about politics. We're going to talk about religion. We're going to talk about societal issues that are affecting everyone. We're going to go at it, and we're probably going to have some disagreements. But at the end of the day, we're always going to come from a place of positivity and joy and hopefully some sort of consensus. But culture and consequence is going to be probably a little bit more of the fiery show, but still, at the end of the day, it's always going to be all about the joy. I think the flip side of it for me was I didn't know anything about Reagan. I grew up the way I grew up, which was without parents basically, and at the age of 12. And so I was in survival mode on a day-to-day. And I would also say in my neighborhood, I don't remember politics being the thing we discussed. Like I don't ever remember politics being something that was important, or I didn't know anything about it.
I mean, look, there is a lot of opportunity here. There's no doubt about it, right? Like, in my own family, living proof of like, you can come to this country and you can make a great life for yourself, right? And there are millions of people who have done that over, the last couple of 100 years, right? But there are issues, right? There are problems. There are things that we have not dealt with, that we deny, that we cover up. And I completely agree with you to actually look at those things honestly and be able to say, yeah, hey, we did this. It's terrible that we did this. Here's what we learned. And now we're going to move forward. That's something that we have really not done in any large scale way that would be So beneficial. I mean, that's how people grow. Everybody knows that's how people grow, right?
Right.
You own up to your mistakes, you take responsibility, and you do better. We all know that.
I don't know why it's so hard.
So
Well, this is what we're going to discuss and fix about our country in our podcast, right? That's what we're here to do. We're going to figure out what's wrong with this mofo country and fix it. So look, we're not always going to chase headlines, but we're always going to chase meaning in culture and consequence. So there you have it. The entire neighborhood. You totally get it. You understand all 4 shows now. At the end of this, you'll be able to see the schedule because it will change every once in a while. But basically, Friday Night Lives are Friday, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. We have the private lounge that is always on Sundays at 12 o'clock Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. That's when those go live. Thursday nights will be Culture and Consequence. Those go 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. And Carmen Talks are whenever I feel the need to share them. But they'll always be in one of those slots either way, because that's kind of how we do it. So, but look at whether you're here just to hang out, or you're here because you want to make new friends, or you're here because you want to contribute in a way that is, friendly and kind and also inspirational, aspirational, or you just have a question or you want to learn something. This is the place for you. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter your age. It doesn't matter where you come from, what you believe in. Everyone is welcome as long as there is respect and kindness and, a sense of joy. That doesn't mean we can't have a little biting match every once in a while, but it does mean at the end of the day, it really is all about the joy. And that's how we end every single segment. So until next time, thank you so much. And I'm going to say it again. At the end of the day, it really is all about the joy. Thank you so much for stopping by. Thanks for stopping by All About the Joy. Be better and stay beautiful, folks. Have a sweet day.